Ladies, we are here tonight and we are going to talk about. We got a bunch of news, then we're going to do Monday Night Raw recap. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what everybody's, I guess, was talking about, at least before the show, and that was that Vince McMahon was supposedly backstage last night at Monday Night Raw, man. Freaking from Boston, Massachusetts, man. At first they said that he was there to visit John Cena, but then there's some other stuff that's coming out. Um some other stuff coming out since then, man. Dave Meltzer's reporting Vince McMahon was doing more than WWE. Okay, so let's see. So pretty much they said that he was there to visit John Cena, but then Dave Meltzer's reporting that he did some other stuff. They said he did sit in Gorilla alongside Triple H the whole night. It didn't seem like he was in complete control. It seemed like Triple H was still in control of like with the leading producer, right, or the leading creative guy. But he did sit all night long and creative alongside Triple H. It's not like he came into the building, maybe say hello to John Cena and a lot of people, and then because that's what a lot of people were kind of hoping, that he was going to come in and say hello to John Cena, maybe say hello to a few of the guys, and then maybe leave before the show even started. But that was not the case. He stayed there the whole time, and he sat through Gorilla. And so, like I said, it seemed like Triple H was still in charge, but he sat in Gorilla the whole time throughout the whole show. If you don't know what the hell Gorilla means, that's pretty much that's where all the producers sit that are controlling the show from behind the scenes. So that's where Triple H, I think Kevin Dunn, Bruce Pritchard, William Regal, when they're helping Triple H along with the show, that's where all they sit down. They're literally right. The first thing you see once you come up off the curtain from being out in the ring, you see those guys sitting down with their freaking headphones, making sure the show's going smoothly, right? Whether it's Triple H with the creative stuff or a guy like Kevin Dunn with the producing stuff. So they said Vince McMahon sat in one of those chairs along with Triple H and Kevin Dunn and whoever else was sitting there. So this is the official from Dave Meltzer. Vince McMahon was doing more than they're letting on, but when I got Vince McMahon, I guess all over. Vince McMahon was doing more than their WWE letting on, but the person who was in control of Monday Night Raw last night was Triple H. It's not like Vince was there and in charge and doing stuff, but it's not like he was just there to visit John Cena. He was in Gorilla all night. So, I mean, what does that tell you? He wasn't barking orders at people or anything like that, but he was in Gorilla all night. So that's pretty much the official statement for Dave Meltzer reporting on John Cena, on Vince McMahon being on Monday Night Raw last night. Like I've been saying all the way back in January when he came back in, it could be a bunch of baby steps to eventually take full control of the company. We'll see. I mean, right in WrestleMania season, right? We're literally, 3 weeks away from WrestleMania, and he's starting to get control. Could he potentially be in full control by April of WrestleMania? That could be a possibility. We'll see what happens. At this point, I mean, like I said, maybe does he want to travel? Maybe he's liking the life of just being in the office. I don't know. That maybe a lot more wishful thinking. But that could be a possibility. He says, you know what? I'd rather just stay in the office and maybe try to control some stuff from here, because he is obviously, they're saying that he was the one with the idea of Brock Lesnar with Amish. So I don't know. We'll see where this leads to. I mean, nobody can really stop him. If he wants to take control of creative, he can take control of creative. We'll see what happens. I wonder if he can take in control of creative with Triple H, potentially leave the company. Will he go back to NXT? I don't know. That's another thing we would have to see what would happen with Triple H if Vince would completely take control again of creative. So let's see, man. More news coming out. They're saying that WWE is still not sure if Ronda Rousey is going to be able to compete at WrestleMania. Remember, she was wearing a sling this past Friday night on SmackDown because she suffered a legit injury. They tried to play it off of that Shotzi and Noxie Knox attacked her, but no, she actually had a legit injury. Here's the article. Here's a statement by Dave Meltzer on that one. WWE are right now of the impression that Ronda Rousey is not going to be 100% healed, but the impression is she'll be ready to do the match. So they're saying some type of tag team match. So are they going to add them into the Damage Control, Becky, Trish, Lita match? Is that what they're targeting? But they would need a third person, right? Because that match, as of right now, is a 6-woman tag team match. So they would need another person to make it make sense. But it looks like Ronda Rousey they're gonna have to do a tag team match because it looks like she will not be 100% to do a full match. So interesting to see because last night they did announce a 6-woman tag team match between Damage Control and Becky, Trish, and Lita. So we'll see. We'll see where they go. Pretty interesting. A lot of people thought that maybe Ronda Rousey was out of the picture after that match being announced. But now Dave Meltzer's reporting, I guess she's still in it. She's just injured right now. Who knows, man? Let's see here. More stuff. They're saying that FTR has re-signed with AEW, and that's why they came back on Sunday at Revolution. And they're saying they could be the next tag team champions. So they're saying the belief was that FTR are locked into long-term deals with AEW, and their disappearance and tease of going elsewhere was just a storyline. All right, so maybe they were hurt and taking some time off, and they told them just to keep yourself relevant, start teasing that you're going to go to a different company or something. But it looks like they're locked into AEW long term. All right, pretty interesting. Let's see any more news. Another thing about Vince McMahon, they said he grew a mustache, and a lot of people online yesterday were making fake pictures of McMahon and a mustache. The story behind it is a lot of people are very shocked because Vince McMahon does not like body hair or facial hair. He never liked it. He hated it. So a lot of people are shocked that he grew a mustache. So I mean, interesting. A lot of people were joking it was a disguise. People wouldn't know it was him. All right, let's see here more stuff. Scrolling down, ladies and gentlemen. Scrolling down the freaking hold on. Scrolling down, ladies and gentlemen. So these are the ratings for SmackDown and Rampage. SmackDown getting 2.4 million this past Friday night, 2.4 million views, and Rampage getting 394,000 views. So Rampage once again in the 300,000s. Jesus Christ, man! I wonder if it's different with Ring of Honor, right? Because it's a streaming service. Imagine if they would beat it. That would be crazy. If Ring of Honor on Thursdays will start beating. It might start doing it because it's on Thursdays at 7:00, right? It's more watchable. Now that could be a real problem once football season starts again. They could get crushed. But for now, that's pretty good right now. It's at a much watchable time on Thursday at 7:00. then freaking Rampage at 9 o'clock on a Friday night. But those are the ratings for Friday for SmackDown and Rampage. So again, SmackDown 2.4 million, Rampage 394,000. All right, here we go. Any more news? Okay, I think we're done with this one. Let's go to a different article. Just gotta open up the articles and make sure. They're saying that John Cena felt, well, he tweeted it out himself. Last night was the first time I entered the arena and had the thought that it might be the last time. I'll never be able to put it into words. So John Cena, perhaps the reason he was crying last night when he entered the arena is because he's thinking he might retire soon, and this could be his final run. So this is his first proper WrestleMania match since like 2018, when his first advertisement match since 2017. I think in 2018 he had the freaking match with the Undertaker, right? That was the last one. I believe in 19 he showed up. That was the one he did the Doctors of Thugonomics, right? He didn't do a match with Elias, remember? He didn't do a match. He just showed up as the Doctor of Thugonomics. And then 2020 was the one he did with Bray Wyatt. Remember that weird shit with Bray Wyatt? And then he missed 2021. And then he didn't do 2022 either, right? He missed both. So yeah, this is gonna be his first WrestleMania since 2020. And the first time he has an official WrestleMania match since 2018. That is crazy. Yeah, 2019 was the Dr. Thugonomics with Elias. 2020 was a stupid thing with Bray Wyatt. And then he missed 2021 and 2022. That is crazy. This is going to be his first official WrestleMania match since WrestleMania 18, where he got remember, he got smashed. He got buried by the freaking Undertaker, remember? And that match wasn't even official until, remember, he came through the crowd, remember? And then he freaking, and then they told him, he's here to accept your challenge. And then he ran back and he had the match, and it was only like 5 minutes. Jesus Christ, this is going to be his. So first time since 2018, an official match, and first time since 2017, an official advertising match. We're working to know a week in advance that he's wrestling. That is crazy. All right, here we go. That is just crazy to me, man. I did not realize it had been that long since John Cena actually competed in a legit match. All the way back at 2018, which I believe was WrestleMania 34. Jesus Christ. All right, let's continue with this shit. People are talking about like Dakota Kai, how at this time last year, she didn't even know she was going to be part of the main roster. She ended up getting released. They didn't have any plans for her. And now a year later, she's going to be one of the biggest marquee matches of the night in that 6-woman tag team match with Trish, Becky, and with Becky, Trish, and Lita. Congratulations to Dakota Kai, man. Let's see here. So as of right now, the WrestleMania matches are Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Universal Championship, Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title, John Cena versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar versus Almost, and Becky, Lita, and Trish versus Damage Control. So those are the matches. So is that could be the card right there, right? we still need to make the Bray Wyatt Bobby Lashley official, and then I guess they're gonna try to do something with Ronda Rousey. But it's possible that at about 75% of the card is probably already filled out. Very possible. All right. Oh, dude, do we have one more? Jesus Christ, all this news. Fuck. I'm gonna try to go through Monday Night Raw really quick because this video is gonna take forever, man. So they're saying that yesterday when they officially announced that King and Queen of the Ring is gonna be on Saturday, May 27, from Saudi Arabia. They're saying that both Selena Verga and King or Xavier Woods were not happy that nobody brought up the fact that they were the last guys and women to win King and Queen of the Ring. They were pissed off. Xavier Woods even put himself in the video. He was pissed. Selena was mad too. Hopefully this time around with Triple H, hopefully he's still in charge by here, right? We don't even know. Can make this actually mean something. This used to be back in the day, like what is now the Money in the Bank, where like this was the idea of doing this tournament was to make a new star, and I believe back in the day they would become along with winning King of the Ring, they would become #1 contenders to get a shot at the WWE Championship. Back in the day, this was kind of like the Money in the Bank briefcase. You would get the crown, you were the King of the Ring, and you were guaranteed a match versus the WWE Champion. That's how Stone Cold Steve Austin became a star. He won Ring of the Ring, and I think he faced Bret Hart. I forgot, and he beat him, and that's how he won. That's how he became a star. So hopefully maybe Triple H will go back to it, like to do it like that, where it actually means something, not just a stupid crown and look like a pendejo. So I think that's about it from this article. I think I covered everything else. All right. Let's do Monday Night Raw recap, and then we'll call it a night here tonight on Tuesday. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So Monday Night Raw from Boston, Massachusetts, man. Pretty good show. There was some parts where, Jesus Christ, but for the most part, it was a good show. You see, you started off with Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. Good match, man. But then at the end, Jimmy Uso interferes disqualification. They start beating up Kevin Owens. They want to put him through the announce table. And Sami Zayn shows up. He starts beating both of them with a chair. They run away. And then Sami Zayn once again wants to extend his hand and do a partnership with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is not interested. They have another backstage segment where he's trying to tell him, hey, I'm not trying to be best friends with you or anything like that again. I just want to do a partnership with you to take out the bloodline. Once we take out the bloodline, we can go our separate ways. And it goes to the point where Kevin Owens tells him, I don't want to be with you, man. I've been fighting the bloodline for like the last years by myself. Is it hard? Yes, it is. But I have no interest in being with you. In fact, you should just go back to apologize to Roman Reigns, and I'll bet he'll accept you back in the bloodline. Just leave me alone. I was like, wait a minute. Damn, imagine if that happened. He apologized and he went back. Anyways, that was pretty. So yeah, this is probably going to be like that one storyline with Jon Moxley and Seth Rollins, where Seth Rollins had to keep convincing him until he finally did, and he accepted to be his tag team partner. Kind of similar to that storyline from a few years ago. All right. And then we get a backstage segment where Bobby Lashley, where he said, when are we going to have a conversation, you and me, face to face, Bray Wyatt, without any silly, spooky videos or an appearance by your Uncle Howdy? When are we going to do this, man? Probably on SmackDown, they might make this official. We'll see for WrestleMania. Byron Saxton is interviewing Carmella. Then along comes what's her face? Chelsea Green. They kind of do a partnership because they both hate Adam Pearce. So they come out to the ring together. So Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Chelsea Green accompanied her. Good match. At the end, Bianca Belair wins. After the match, Asuka shows up and she fucking, I think she was trying to target Carmella with she spit the foam, whatever the hell she spits, the mist, and the Carmella ducks, and she instead hits Chelsea Green. So good stuff. And then after that, she has a stare down with Bianca Belair. So good shit right there. And then we get the freaking we get the face-off between Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. The freaking Miz is moderating. People were there. They were on for this, man. Maybe this and the John Cena Austin Theory, maybe even this was even louder. This was so loud, man. These people, at that one point, they were chanting, "Fuck you, Logan." Like, this shit was crazy tonight, man. They were singing for like 5 minutes, man. They wouldn't be quiet. They kept singing Seth Rollins' theme music to the point where Logan Paul had said, we're on a time constraint, guys. Can you be quiet? They just got obviously louder. But pretty much, they ended up agreeing to their freaking match at Wrestle. Well, so what happened was they're like, we got to settle this, man. And Seth is like, let's do it right now, man. Enough of this talking shit. Let's settle it right now. And Logan's like, I don't fight for free, man, especially in Boston. But if they were on a bigger stage in a brighter city with stars, let's do it. And he looks at the WrestleMania logo. And then the Miz was the monitor's like, hey, I can make that happen, man. As the host of WrestleMania, I can pull strings and make it happen. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And then it's like, can you really do that, Miz? Like, of course. I'll just talk to Adam Pearce and he can make it happen. And he just like, go talk to him. And he throws him out of the ring. Freaking and then Logan Paul kicks Rollins in the ribs. Rollins falls down. He tries to go for the curse stomp, but Rollins gets out of the way. And then he shoves him into the corner. And then the Miz gets back in. He attacks Rollins from behind. And then Rollins hits the super kick on the Miz. But that just kicks enough time for Logan Paul to fucking knock out the Miz. I beg your pardon. Knock out Seth Rollins. He did the knockout just like his brother Jake Paul knocked out Karen Woodley. Freaking Logan Paul knocked out Seth Rollins just off flat on. I know Mike Khali, Kobe Albertson was probably so mad at that. Fucking and then he grabs the microphone and Logan Paul's like, hey Seth, when you wake up, let me know about the WrestleMania match. And another thing, bye-bye, bitch. The same thing, remember that's how Seth Rollins hooked up the phone last week on Logan Paul. So I think they announced it later on the show. It's official. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I would assume Rollins would go over, but I'm not sure because I don't know. Logan Paul, they pay him so much money. I don't know if they want to keep him. He already lost at with Roman, right? Is he gonna lose again? But also Seth needs to win at WrestleMania. So I don't know who wins this one. Maybe Vince McMahon is the one that's gonna decide. And if it's Vince McMahon, I'm gonna go with Logan Paul. I think with Vince McMahon being more involved with creative, I think there's a bigger chance Logan Paul wins this match. I really do. But let's see here. Let's move on. Let's see here. We have one of the matches that nobody cares a shit about. Almas versus Dolph Ziggler. Now they have a gimmick where freaking Ali's like his biggest fan, and they have Mustafa Ali in the freaking crowd with a sign Ziggler's #1 fan. Like, what the hell? Obviously, Almas wins. Freaking squash. Probably the first part of the show that nobody cared about. Let's see here. We get a backstage segment with the male Maximum models and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's like, what do you see? And Otis, you don't see in me, man. I could be your client. And Maxine's like, you know what? If you can beat Chad Gable tonight, who we hate because he's just on our way of trying to recruit Otis, we'll consider hiring you as a client. So that was a match that was made official. Corbin versus Chad Gable. And then we get freaking Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. This was a good match, but obviously Edge interfered. He cost the match. Johnny Gargano ended up winning. And then after the match, Edge is backstage, and he says, hey, you know what, Finn? We've been doing this for months. And let's be honest, you want it to be over. I want it to be over. Next week on Raw, I'm going to call you out by myself. I want you to come out there by yourself, no Judgment Day, and let's settle this once and for all. So the rumor is they're gonna agree to do a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. That's what the rumor is. We'll see what happens. Good win for Johnny Gargano. He needed that type of win. And then we get another shitty-ass match nobody cared about. At least Almas is going to be part of WrestleMania. Nobody cares about Nikki Cross and Piper Niven. Piper Niven went pretty fast. I think these are just filler matches because they don't know what to do with time. I don't know. Where they almost ran out of time. They went into fucking the last commercial break they came back was like 5 minutes left. Pendejo face. Maybe if you don't do this Piper Niven, Nikki Cross match, you would have had a little 3 extra minutes for the end of the show. Anyways, and then we get like a Rick Books and freaking Elias backstage where freaking Elias says, I want you to impress me. Next week, I want you to challenge Bronson Reed to a match. He's right there. Go tell him. Read my lips. I want a match with you. I want to fight you. So Rick Books goes tell Bronson Reed, hey, Elias wants to fight you. And then fucking Bronson Reed comes up to Elias like, you want to fight me next week? You're on, bitch. And then fucking Elias is like, no, I meant you. He's like, I read your lips. I thought you were talking about yourself. So it feels like, I don't know if he did, either he did it on purpose, trying to scoop with Elias, or he's going like with a pendejo gimmick. It's freaking Rick Books. Who knows, man? Who knows? But whatever. And then we got freaking we get the John Cena return, man. He, like I said, very emotional. He was crying. As soon as he gets in the ring, Austin Theory comes out. Freaking, they start, going back and forth. Austin Theory says, hey, I want to give you a gift at WrestleMania, bigger than any gift, any match you'll ever. This gift is bigger than any match, than any movie you'll ever do. And he's like, I want to challenge you to a match at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. And John Cena's like, no, you're not ready for me, man. You don't have it in the heart. You don't have it in the mind. You're not ready for me. And then Cena's like, are you just fucking giving up, man? You're giving up on the fans. You're not going to accept my challenge. And then John Cena's like, you know what? Since you put the fans, now I'm doing it for the fans, man. At WrestleMania, you just make the biggest mistake of your life. It's on. I will face you at WrestleMania for the United States Champion. And then Austin Theory tells him about something about his bald spot. He has a bald spot on his head. And then John Cena's like, I'd rather have a bald spot on my head than have pumping crowd noise in for my match because nobody gives a shit. Jesus Christ. And then he's like, I don't think you have it here in the mind. I don't think you have it here in the heart. And I don't even think you have it down there. Jesus Christ. And then he just walks away. He's like, by the way, that last one down there, you really got to work on that one. And he just walks away. And as he walks away, he introduces Cody Rhodes for no reason. I think it was just like a passing of the torch. To me, this was a Vince McMahon thing where he's like, hey, pal, why don't you at the end of this promo with Austin Theory introduce Cody Rhodes to the crowd, it would be good shit. I think that could have been a Vince McMahon thing, almost like passing the torch from John Cena, one of the greatest of all time, to Cody Rhodes, who right now seems to be the new main event star, right? And then whatever, the Cody Rhodes just left. I believe they went to commercial. And then after that, I believe it was the Chad Gable, Baron Corbin match. Obviously, very fast, I believe. It wasn't even 5 minutes. Chad Gable won the match. Pendejo face for Baron Corbin, who continues to lose. And then the Miz and Maurice do a Top Gun thing, right? Those cameos they've been doing, those what do you call cosplays. Really funny, man. And then we get the women's segment. Becky Lynch and Lita come out to the ring, and they're pretty much, celebrating. They became tag team champions. Then Trish comes out there. She's happy with them too. Then freaking Damage Control comes out, and they just start arguing. And then Trish is like, you know what? Let's do this. Let's settle this problem at the Grand Stakes of Mall, WrestleMania. Bayley accepts the match. Dakota and Io are kind of not happy about it, but then they just turn around and start fighting Lita, Becky, Trish, and Lita. And then obviously the baby faces, Becky, Trish, and Lita beat the hell out of Damage Control. But it's official, a 6-woman tag team match for WrestleMania for them. Again, where does Ronda Rousey go on all of this? Who knows? But they continue to say that the reporters of wrestling continue to say that Ronda Rousey somehow can fit in this. Who knows? And then pretty much we get the freaking main event. Jimmy Uso versus Sami Zayn. Soul Color coming up to the ring. What happens in the middle of towards the end of this match, Jey Uso comes out to the crowd. He comes down to the ringside. He stands right on top of the ring, the announce table. And it seems like Jimmy's happy to see him, but at the same time, he's kind of gets distracted. And I believe Sami Zayn beat him with a full roll-up, didn't he? I believe he beat him with a full roll-up. Yeah, he did. And then after the match, there's just a stare down between Jimmy and Jay. Jay gets in the ring, and he looks like he's about to hug Jimmy, but he doesn't. He kind of grabs him by the chest, and then he walks away from him, and he goes out of the ring, and he has a face-to-face with Sami Zayn. He hugs Sami Zayn, and he's like, I trust you, man. I trust you. And Jimmy goes down on his knees, like heartbroken, like, oh my God, he chose Sammy over me. And then they just start going, like, which was weird. I'm like, why are you guys doing this? Is the bloodline symbol. You guys, Sammy's name's not even the bloodline anymore. Jay, by hugging Sammy, he kind of quit the bloodline too. Why are they doing this? And then out of nowhere, Jay just freaking super kicks Sami Zayn, starts beating him up. It's like, you thought I was going to show you? This is family shit, man. This is family shit. Puts him back in the ring. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy join in. It's a 3-on-1 beatdown. And then who comes out to make the save? Cody Rhodes comes out to make the save. Solo Sikoa and the Usos just leave the ring. And of course, it ends right there. The copyright thing comes on and the show's over. Because I think they fucked up the timing. Their final commercial break was like about 7 minutes left. They came back in. There was only 5 minutes left in the show. It was the same time, I believe, when Brock Lesnar came back, right? And attacked Bobby Lashley. Same thing happened. Why are you taking commercials when there's less than 10 minutes on the show? Jesus Christ. Pendejo face. See, if you don't have the Piper Niven, Nikki Cross, or even the fucking ominous Dolph Ziggler match, that's maybe about 7-10 more minutes you would have had for the end of the show. They kind of rushed the end of at the end there with Cody Rhodes making the save for Sami Zayn. But that was pretty much the show. This was a really good show outside of Almas versus Ziggler and Piper Niven versus Nikki Cross. This was a Chad Gable, Baron Corbin, whatever. It was kind of a filler too, but it was a really good show. Really good stuff. A lot of matches were made official for WrestleMania. I think at this point, the only rumor that it should be official soon is Bobby Lashley versus Bray Wyatt. And let's see whatever the hell they decide to do with Ronda Rousey. But everything else looks like it's set, man. It looks like 75% of the WrestleMania card is set. Looks like 75% of the WrestleMania card is set. And let's see, man. We have about, I believe, exactly 25 more days from now until WrestleMania. So let's see what we get on Friday Night SmackDown, man. This is a fun time to be a wrestling fan. March, man. The road to WrestleMania. AEW just had a hell of a pay-per-view on Sunday. I'm excited to see what they do on Dynamite this week. I think a lot of new fresh storylines for Dynamite. The last two shows with WWE this past Friday and tonight on Monday Night Raw have been really good. Very fun, man. Very fun. Very fun. Time to be a wrestling fan this time of year, March. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm out. Holla.